There we go. Hello, everyone, and welcome to the NERSC and Wasted GPU Programming Bootcamp. Thank you so much for joining us for this event, and we're really looking forward to working together with everyone over these next couple of days. My name is Manjot Singh, and I will be your main lead for this bootcamp. I am the Open Hackathons Bootcamps and Hackathons North America, Latin America lead, so super excited to work with everyone here. And if you ever have any questions regarding this event, regarding any of our other events, or any questions in general, please feel free to reach out to me. We won't go through the logistics today. We have the cluster intro that we will be covering here in a second, but I just wanted to give an overview to everyone of how these next couple of days are going to look. Today is going to be just a small 1 hour session for us to go, for Helen to go through the cluster and for us to make sure everyone is able to access the cluster and access the materials that we will be going over in the next couple of days. Another thing I wanted to note out is for the next 2 days, which are Wednesday, April 30th and Thursday, May 1st, these 2 days will require Zoom and Slack. So we will ask that everyone join the Zoom at 9 a.m. Pacific time every single day. But please note that the third day, Friday, May 2nd, is a completely virtual day. We will provide a take-home coding challenge. There will be no Zoom session and everyone will be working on their own. However, the Slack will be open in case anyone has any questions or any comments they would like to put regarding this channel. So just to make sure that everyone was able to understand that, can I please get some thumbs ups in the chat? Perfect. I'm seeing them come through. Thank you so much. So that was just the main things that I had wanted to cover for today. And yes, so it will be possible to get a certification. Please email us afterwards and we will be able to provide that certificate afterwards. So not seeing any other questions. Thank you everyone for the thumbs up. Great to know that we're all on the same page. Helen, with that, I will hand things on over to you to walk us through the cluster overview.
All right. Thank you everyone for joining us today. My name is Helen He. I am the NERSC site training contact host for this bootcamp. I'm the training team lead at NERSC as well. So today I would like to tell you about how we're gonna using Perlmutter for this bootcamp. Oh, can you please? Yeah, I can start my share.
Yep, I can start my share. And while Helen is pulling that up, I did want everyone to note that all of the information that we shared today, as well as all the information shared throughout the main days, will be provided on the Slack workspace. So if you have not already, please join the Slack workspace as soon as possible. All links and announcements and important information will be shared there. I just posted the Slack link as well on the chat, and you'll be able to find this cluster presentation that Helen is sharing on the Slack workspace as well.
Yeah,
Sorry,
and
Helen,
at the
back
same
over to you.
time, yeah.
Oh,
Oh, sorry. And hi, everyone. And at the same time, if you can follow along with Helen to make sure that you can access the cluster and you know how to run the notebooks, that would be great.
Right. So the first slide is just the title. And then what I'm telling you is that I would like to thank NVIDIA for bringing GPU Bootcamp to NERSC. Thank you all organizers, presenters, and people who worked on those materials for us and the TAs. And the majority of attendees are NERSC, LCFL, and ORCF users, plus a few, public people, because it's an open hackathon. It's gonna cover GPU programming concepts and basic introduction of various programming models. I'm gonna show you a table on the next slide. And so you can learn by using the bootcamp materials, your guideline, and you can run your GPU codes on Perlmutter and other DOE systems and other HPC system as well. We do have lots of NERSC training events that you can find on our training events pages that most of them have the recording the slides available. So as well as this bootcamp will have slides and the recordings available afterwards as well. Quickly, the NERSC system, the Perlmutter system has about 1,800 GPU nodes, and each GPU node has 4 GPUs on it and a CPU that can drive the offload to the GPU, for example. We also have about 3,000 AMD Milan CPU node. for this bootcamp, we will be going to use just one GPU per user out of this the 4 GPU, the GPU node that has 4 GPUs. So basically 4 users will share a GPU node on Perlmutter. And just to let you know, the Perlmutter, we're proud that we were number 5 on the top 500 list in November 2021, and currently it's number 19th in the world. This is the table. Basically, what I want to say is that Perlmutter supports almost every GPU programming model. And what this bootcamp is going to cover is from NVIDIA, the compiler suite, and we're going to talk about in Fortran standard, Fortran C and C++ standard parallelization model, and CUDA, OpenACC, OpenMP, CUDA C, and CUDA Fortran, right? Then you can see this color green or some other compilers and other green shaded are vendor supported. And NERSC ourselves, we support LLVM and Intel vendor coming from NVIDIA Cray compiler and GNU compiler with all various programming models. So yeah, Perlmutter is a great machine for doing GPU programming. Here I do provide some information on how do you log into Perlmutter. Assuming some of you are already NERSC users, some of you, if you're not, assuming you have figured out how to set up MFA. The goal is to have the MFA is multi-factor authentication, which would, through that, give you a one-time password, OTP, because when you log into Perlmutter, it is required to use your password plus an OTP that changes every 30 seconds or so. If you're not, I can stay for a little bit after this session that we can help you to go through it. But and we do have some quicker short videos to help you how to log into Perlmutter with Jupyter and how to log into Perlmutter with SSH. Both of them use password and OTP. And there's another convenient client called SSH proxy that once this is configured, you only need to type your password and OTP every 24 hours. It works for the SSH session. It works for the web API like Jupyter or other NERSC database like such as Iris, all these other Iris. I think if you have set up an OTP, you know what I'm talking about. This is the place where you set up your account for MFA. And optionally, there's a thing called Sting Link, which is a client. It helps to expedite X forwarding. It is used for when we do, profiling. But this is a third option to do the profiling. We can tell you 2 other options. Probably it'll be easier than ThingLink. But if you're a NERSC user, you already maybe have heard of ThingLink and been using it. That's better than because it gets you profiling, X forwarding much faster than the other 2 options. Quickly, if you already set up MFA with OTP, for our bootcamp, what we will be using is the web browser. Jupyter.nurse.gov is a Jupyter hub. And I'll do a bit, how do I say this? I will do a walkthrough with demo a little bit later, but I'll show you from the slide side. So you go to jupyter.nurse.gov and you see the sign in with your federated identity at NERSC. From that, you will choose, on the next screen, choose NERSC. Once you choose NERSC, and you would type your username and password, just the password at this point. The next screen will show up, you need to type your one-time password. The one-time password is usually, once you MFA, most likely you have a Google, some kind of app, such as Google Authenticator on your phone, and you go in and you find that 6-digit OTP from that authenticator for NERSC. Then you click login. With that, now you're logged into Jupyter. Once you're on Jupyter, you will see all these options: login node, shared GPU node, exclusive CPU. For our bootcamp, we will be using the second and the last options. During the day 1 and day 2 and day 3, we have a few, I'll show you the next slide. I think, yeah, it's actually showed here. This slide, basically, we have, during these 3 days, day 1, 2, and 3, we have a reservation node hours. Then you will be using this option. to do the bootcamp notebook. And outside of these reservation hours, you will be using this shared GPU node. For each of those options, you will be accessing one GPU node only. Actually, I want to go back to my other slide here. So this is this part. And with that part, when you log in, there's a place, if you go, these are the options of kernels, right? And there's one of the kernel is called terminal. Then you would click that, and then you get on a terminal. In this terminal, what we wanted you to do, the first step is to get your materials and input file. So inside this terminal window, you would type these commands. You would go to the Scratch directory. Scratch directory is fast for performance file, is also the great place for doing profiling, because the other file system is not set up for doing the profiling. You get some errors if you're not in the Scratch. So you go to Scratch and you clone the GitHub repo for the Bootcamp. And then you go inside this directory, and there's an input directory. You need to copy the input directory because it's too big. That's why that input file is not in the Git repository. And then you go back to Scratch and you would clone the code challenge. This is going to be used on day 3. You hear some description of it on day 2, but the challenge is for the exercise on day 3. So you get the materials on a terminal in Jupyter. I'll walk you through when I do the demo. So another way to access to Perlmutter is SSH. Probably many people use that as well. You would SSH your username at Perlmutter, and then this time you need to type password and OTP in one line without spaces. So you get. I have actually another slide with it. When you want to do the X profiling, the profiling with X windows, you need to use another flag -Y. I'll show you that later. So I mentioned this already within reservation and outside reservation, right? Now, during the bootcamp, within the reservation hours, and then when you choose this configurable job start, you will get to this window, and inside this window, you keep most of them the same, but then these are a few things we want you to change. You will choose this project. We added everyone to this project. TRN stands for train, so train 004, and you have to choose the GPU node, and you choose a QoS, quality of service, Jupyter shared, and you choose a quarter of available CPUs. So you choose 32 and 1 GPU per task. Then choose 1 node, and tasks per node is also 1. And here, reservation. Right now, if you do it, you don't see it. But during that times, you will see it, and you can choose that available reservations. So you'll choose n-ways _ day 1. And then _ day 2 for the second day, and day 3 for the third day. And we ask you to choose 120 minutes, which is 2 hours, instead of available 6 hours. If you choose too long, like the minutes past the reservation ends, you won't be able to start this node. Then you click start, then you will get onto the Jupyter notebook, right? So now inside the notebook, what you have is you're on the left side, you will see the home and Scratch. So you choose Scratch. Once you choose Scratch, you will find the directory you have copied over. Anyways, XR programming, that's the Git repo directory. So this is the first step. Check some windows. Yeah, I will do the demo, and then I'll just go over the slides quickly, and then I'll go do the demo, and you can follow me, okay? So here, you would, after you choose either GPU shared node or a configurable node, you'll get onto this page. And then on the left here, you would choose the Perlmutter Scratch directory. And then bottom, you would choose that directory that you get cloned to. And then in there, you would find start anyway. I find this notebook, start anyways. Before you do that, it's by default, it gives you this NERSC Python kernel. So that won't work. we actually create a special kernel for this bootcamp. So you click that NERSC Python and you get to a drop-down list. On this drop-down list, you have to choose NWAYS April 2025. I think I got where? Yeah. With that, then you'll be in this NWAYS start notebook, and then you just walk through. We can just walk through the each of the tabs and run this boot notebook inside this kernel. Every time you open a new notebook, you have to come to this location and change the kernel to be NWAYS again. I also show you at the demo. And this slide, I just want to show you, once you're done with your notebook, if you close your browser or you log out, those don't actually exit cleanly. The way to exit very cleanly is go to the File menu and go all the way down to find Hub Control Panel, and then you will see the stop here. If you click that stop, wait for it to disappear, and then you'll see the Start button. That means you have cleared exit clearly. Okay. So here I want to show you a few things that you can do during the bootcamp. Besides we're running, compiling and running these source codes in these different programming languages. There's also one step that we'll be doing some profiling, and it'll generate a profiling result. To view that result, you need to use the Insight Systems Insight System GUI. And to view this GUI, this GUI does not exist in the Jupyter Hub, or it's not there, so you cannot view the results inside Jupyter Hub. So you have a few ways to view this. The first one is, if you have to use SSH to log in, make sure you use -Y, and then when you're on the Perlmutter, you can just launch Insight GUI. It's already available for you by default. You just type nsys-ui user interface, and then an X window will open up, and you can just find that profiling result to view it. The second method is to install this software on your local machine, and I'll show you the details on next slide. Basically, this is the location, and once in that location, you find Insight Systems and download that matches your local laptop. It could be Mac, could be Windows, Mac could be ARM system, or could be Intel system. But choose the one matches your laptop, and you might need to, create an NVIDIA developer account to be able to download. Once it's downloaded, and then you can just download the profiling data to your local system, and then open up the Insight System on your local laptop to view it. So that's the second method, and the third method is the ThingLink client. And once there, you will be also connecting to Perlmutter directly, and on Perlmutter inside ThingLink, and open up Insight GUI as nsys-ui as well. It's just faster than method one, especially if you're far away from our Perlmutter system where it's located. So for now, this is all my slides. I'm gonna show you with the demo. Before that, anyone has any special questions? I'm reading. Nsys GUI is laggy. Yeah, so if it's laggy, then do the method 2 and method 3. They'll be much faster than the first option. Stopping end session. No, stopping end user session, it only ends for your own session. The other three users basically just having their own Jupyter Hub session, but running on a different GPU on that GPU node. So they're all individually configured. You are not interfering with other users. Okay, slide, yeah. Yeah, I'll post the updated slide. I think I added 2 slides in my deck. So I'll post a new PDF for my presentation afterwards. Do we use the logging node for today and the shared node for the next 2 days? You're not using the login node. Anytime, so what I'm having here is this. Here. Here. So you will be using only during these 3 days, these like for 3 hours to between 3 hours to 5 hours each day, using the last option called configurable job. All other time today and all other times on those other 3 days, you will be using shared GPU node. Do not use login node. For the shared GPU node, you will be on compute node. So that's like you'll be on the specific GPU on that compute node. The logging node is mostly for other people to do, sharing, small, compilation, small viewing their, listing their files, etc. So it's not good for us to take the logging node. I think I answered all the questions on the chat so far. So let me start to do the demo. I'm assuming everybody has OTP. If not, you can stay after the session and I can help you.
And we did want to mention, after Helen does the demo, if there are still issues and people are not able to access the cluster, we will be sticking around to help support the attendees and to get those fixed.
Yeah, correct.
Yep, all yours, Helen.
So yes. When will our allocation expire? So if you're a NERSC user, I added to the project, and you are your membership in that project ends on May 3rd, because you have your regular NERSC allocations. If you're not a NERSC user, I enabled you until May the 9th, so a week or so after the bootcamp ends, so you can do more practice afterwards. Okay. Then I would stop share this one. I will share a other session. So here, I'm using incognito. So you go to jupyter.nurse.gov, you would type jupyter.nurse.gov, that's enough, right? And you get to sign in with federated identity, you click that. If you want to follow me, go ahead, follow me. Oh, sorry, I'm not sharing that screen. Hold on, I'm sharing the wrong screen. I think. Okay. So type jupyter.nurse.gov. You don't have to type the whole thing, it'll pop up. Are you now seeing my jupyter.nurse.gov window, correct?
Yeah, we're seeing the incognito.
Okay, yeah. Okay. Hold on, what's going on? Maybe my second window is not. Let me close that one. Why it's not asking me? What? I was able to do that one. Hold on. Doesn't give me that window. That's strange. I was able to see that. What? Okay. So slow. Sorry. Yeah. After you type that, I usually don't need that long, but you get into sign in with federated identity. So with that, and you click that, and you choose. Don't choose anything else. Choose NERSC, and then you type username and password. Right. Click login, and one-time password. Give me a second. So that's when you bring up your phone, and find your OTP. Okay. Yeah, so today I'm going to use this start GPU node. Okay. It might take a little bit because during the reservation, it'll come up much quicker. But right now we are in a queue waiting for the dedicated nodes that we set aside for Jupyter shared nodes. But it still should be not hard. Are people following me also doing that as well? Okay, great. Okay, I got a node. Oh, I have lots of things here. So what you could do is click a start, I think. New. Actually, if you can come here to File, New, and find Terminal here. But if not, the other way is like there's a plus sign right here. There's multiple ways to open up kernel of terminal. So if I do this plus, it gives me the whole thing here. And you probably see a fewer options than I do. I have lots of local custom kernels, but don't worry about that. You scroll down, you would find this terminal. And click that, you can also get to a terminal, right? Anybody needs me to wait for you to get this terminal? Couple ways from File, New, Terminal, or on this side, let me close off a few of the things I opened up earlier. So don't worry about that. I have actually opened so many terminals. Another way to do this is click this plus sign right here, right? And then you get to this thing called launcher. And on the launcher, scroll down to find this terminal. So, okay, so now you're in a terminal. What we want you to do is $ sign scratch, right? And oops, sorry, I was trying to find my slides to do the git clone commands. Let me put these things in the chat window so you can copy. Okay. Chat. Do you get on the chat? So what I'm going to do is copy git clone. Actually, I already have those, so I'm not doing it again. But you would type those. For me, I think it'll complain because I already have it. You copy, so assume this completed, and you would go to this directory. Okay, so you go to that directory, and then you go to the input directory. Right. But I think I typed a T there, and then you copy this. Notice that the next command has a dot at the end. Okay. Then copy. So now I have the first one. The second one is similar, so I'm not doing it. You can just do it on your own. Copy for the code challenge. So everybody have that. Then what you're gonna do is go to the P scratch, right? On the left side here, P scratch, and then find that directory, GPU accelerated programming, and you can just go to the basic, and this is start anyways IP. I can open it a little bit wider and click start anyways notebook. So you have this notebook. Notice here, for you, probably showing NERSC Python. It's not that. I think I probably changed my default. But you click that, and then from the scroll down, find anyways April 2025, and select. Oh, okay, you can always actually click that. Always start the preferred kernel. You can click this one, and then select. Are you following me? Raise your hand if you need a little bit more time or have questions.
Helen, would we
Yeah,
be
okay.
able
I'll
to
give you a few
get
times.
would we be able to get the GitHub clone link?
Yeah. So there are 5 commands that you find to type in a terminal inside Jupyter Hub. This is what I did. Yeah, here. I did not see any with kernel in the list. You're not seeing any with kernel? The kernel is this how you find a kernel is by through this. So you click what do you see on the top right corner? If you see something not in with April 2025, click it. It's most likely it shows NERSC Python. Click that, and then you get scroll down menu right here. Select kernel, and then it's I think it's alphabetical, so it's like after n ways here. I think it's available for everyone, or at least some people. Do some people see it? I'm hoping it's not an issue with like everyone not seeing it. Okay, great. Yeah, if some of you don't see it, you can stay at the end and I can help you individually. Great. So now you are at start anyways that notebook, right? So try this first command, NVIDIA and SMI, just go to mouse this to this tab and then click on the top play. And you'll see the NVIDIA GPU, pop up. So that's the GPU you'll be on, and that's some information of that GPU. So this is very simple here. You would choose C and Fortran. Python is not covered in this bootcamp, so choose C and Fortran. Now you are here and with GPU. Okay, so we choose C and Fortran, and then if you scroll down, you will see these 4 options. So we'll go in order, right? At the bootcamp, but I'm gonna show you OpenMP. The reason is that because if I choose C and C++, the source code there is not compilable because it needs you to work on it during the lab. But OpenMP actually works because its directives basically, if you it's for OpenMP, the serial code and parallel code use the same code base. It's except that the parallel code has the directives that it'll be ignored when you compile it sequentially. So I'm going to show you OpenMP just to go through the notebook, how it's used. So let's choose OpenMP here. Again, you get to, when you choose that, you actually had a new notebook open up, anyways, OpenMP .ipynb. So with that, again, make sure you always have anyways April 2025. It's not, choose it. I think once you click checkbox, it's much better. You don't have to choose it. But if it's not, always click that and come back and choose anyways again. Otherwise, you'll run into errors when you're using this notebook. Choose that. So I'm here, good. Then this is the same. But if you scroll down now, all these things are the things descriptions. But scroll down a little bit more. There's a place actually you would actually compile and run. You can. It's all the way to the bottom here. At this part, compile the code for multi-core. So click this one and click run. It's not running. It should do something. Strange.
Mine worked for some reason.
Yours worked? Okay,
Yeah.
mine.
I don't know.
I know I tried it earlier, just this morning it worked. I even added a serial run just for my test. You don't have this part. But yeah, it should run and you see something like that. Because when you compile in the makefile, there's some flags to show you, you know, compiling information, and then it'll run and it'll finish. But mine is not running. Let me do my this one. Yeah, it's not running.
Maybe restart the kernel and then bring it back again.
Yeah, let me try my kernel again. I didn't choose, I just let it be without choosing a special specifically. Let me click that, unclick it. Okay, now I have it. It's doing my kernel switch. I hope it runs. Yeah, somehow don't set it, just choose it every time, man. It does work now. Okay, so I remember I was here. So we do this here, this one. Okay, now it's compiles and it should run. Okay, this is on the multi-core on the CPU side, but I think we are more interested in GPU. You can do the Fortran as well if you're a Fortran user. Okay. It's compiling. Fortran is slower, right? It's still compiling. Oh, it's this part is just compile. How come it's not running? Compile Fortran one, I think is missing the running part. Look this command. Okay, so let's go to the GPU side. The GPU compile the C++ version, and for the GPU, after this is done, the next session actually does the profiling. So we'll do the profiling as well. So, sorry, it's running. All right, finished running. Basically, the command is like cd to the source directory and, you know, compile it. Sorry, the compile command here, mp equals GPU is the flag to give you, to do OpenMP on GPU, and this minfo is give you compilation information. And then, and you generate the binary and you run the binary. Sorry, and run the binary. The next tab actually does it profiling is also part of it? Let me see. Sorry. Profiling is not part of it. How come oh, the profiling here is this tab. This tab does the profiling. So NSYS profile, blah, blah. So what you do is this run this tab. And so once you are doing it, you're actually generating files, and the new files actually show up on the side. I'll show you where the OpenMP stuff is. So this is doing all the profiling. We'll go through all the actual notebook materials. Our instructor will go through this and explain what those profiling data means, etc. I'm just going through how you get these results and you get them to run on Perlmutter. So we did actually choose OpenMP, right? OpenMP is in here, actually, and in source code. So that's, you know, when you compile, you get a binary there. And when I do the profiling, you get this file. And this you see, RDF GPU C and sys profiling. This is the profiling data, right? So I think some of the things, you know, different programming languages, CUDA or OpenACC or standard C and C Fortran, will be the similar notebook. We open that notebook, you change the kernel, and you do the whole notebook here. Then you'll get those files, right? So a few ways to view this file. I think that will be the last step for the demo. Inside this terminal, you can see this file, but you won't be able to actually do the viewing, right? So let me show you. I will stop share this thing. I'll show you my terminal.
Hi,
Okay.
Helen. Would we want to cover this tomorrow, or do you think it'd be good to know for now just so we can also go through some troubleshooting with the attendees.
You can what?
For the content, would you want to go through it now, or do you think we should wait till tomorrow and then just start
You
with
mean
the
how to
troubleshooting?
view this? No, not
Yeah,
content. I just say
exactly.
how to open up a GUI.
Oh, okay,
That's for
okay.
today. Yeah, I'm not actually showing the profiling, you know, the memory, all these other things. Just showing how to actually view a GUI. It's today.
Sounds good.
Yeah, so here I'm gonna share my terminal. Actually, I'm gonna start. So I have my SSH set up, right? Let's do this. This is actually my alias. I'll show you. This is my alias. So I have dash capital Y. And this is when I set up SSH proxy. But if you don't have it, what you do is we'll still do SSY. And I'll make my fonts a little bit bigger, sorry. Since I have my SSH proxy, it remembers gives me 24 hours. I don't need to type password plus OTP. If it asks for you, type password plus OTP in one line, right? So we're here. And then let's look at the data. Sorry. Hmm? Basic OpenMP source code, right? Actually, probably I don't need even to go there, it'll find it. So all you need to do is type ANSYS UI. It's not that fast, but it should be okay. And so you will see this inside systems, and you can, open a new project, open a new file. Let's say open a new file, and you would find your data, right? It kind of remembers me, but if not, you can provide the whole directory and then find that file and you open. So that's you get the data, looking at the Perlmutter profiling data. So that's method one, very simple, capital SS dash capital Y. Let me exit that thing, and I will show you quickly method three if you have that set up. I'm not going to show you how to set that up, but method three is I have something called, maybe I can share you with my whole screen terminal, you can see. On my terminal, I have this thing link already set up. If you don't, I'm not going to, you can do it offline, but if you have the option 1 and 2 work, you don't have to just to do thing link for this bootcamp, but in the long run, this is very good for a Perlmutter doing GUI. So you open up this thing link, and here I have my username and my key and all these other options. And all I need to do is connect. But you actually have to set up options and advanced options. You're giving them it has to use SSH proxy, the 24-hour scheme. Then you connect. What's that? Anyway, basically you connect and you get onto Perlmutter. It actually remembers last time you were on Perlmutter. But if not, you can open up a new Perlmutter right here. Perlmutter, and this is a new Perlmutter session, and same thing. And just let's say ANSYS UI, this is just much faster than the first option. And also just find this file in the wherever it is and launch it. Just faster, the third option, okay? Then the second option, what we want to do, let me stop share here, is I want to share with you that in my, I'm not sharing the whole thing anymore. I'm gonna share with you, I think, here. Am I sharing my, yeah, here, right? So for third option, this file is here, right? You right-click it and you download this file onto your laptop. Okay. Then you also download that application, right? I think I should share you my screen again. So you, the third option is am I sharing my screen? Terminal. So that's the application is, if you have it on your local laptop, you have it in applications and site systems that you can open it and you can find that file. My file is also already here, but you can find it in your local laptop that you have downloaded with a right mouse click. So that's the second option. Okay, let me see any questions on the chat, in the chat here. Any questions? I have one more thing to share with you, that how do we choose configurable options in Jupyter, and that will be the last thing to yeah. Okay, how do I set, let me see the questions, okay. Okay, I'm looking at the chat window, okay. Getting executable not found, profiling step. Then maybe if for the profiling step, I'm not getting executable found, that's probably your compilation failed. One reason may be you are not using the right kernel. The other reason might be you're looking at the wrong directory for the executable that you just generated. Please don't do this on the login nodes. Do it on a shared GPU node or configurable node. Yeah, another person said you got warning, failed to open OpenGL. All this warning you can just ignore it. Just wait patiently and to get the GUI open up. How do I set up the key in thing link? It's on my slide. There's a link on it. It's quite involved to set this up. So if you have time, you want to do it, go ahead. But we're not, like, this is our third option. So probably explore the first two just for this bootcamp. When I tried to open the shared GPU, it didn't require me to select to use which project. Yeah, so shared GPU node, you actually running on the reserved Jupyter node. For project, I think basically in your database, in Iris database, you are able to select a default project. So for the bootcamp, if not choosing it, you can go ahead in your Iris to change to using TRN004 as default. But I would suggest not to do it because during the reservation hours, it'll be using the train project automatically, because the reservation is only for the train project. Okay. What the commands again to log in to Perlmutter? It's nsys-ui. nsys-ui, you're running from a login node. When you ssh-Y to Perlmutter, you run nsys-ui from a login node. Yes, Rob, you can share your screen with me with the executable not found issue. The last one, oh, that one has lots of issues. The other person, Dave Landay, you have some issues with and this crash report. Yeah, I can look at it afterwards individually with you as well.
Helen, was there anything else you wanted to cover? And then I think we
I
can.
do have one more thing to cover.
Yes.
How to
And
set.
then after
Okay.
that, I think we can go on over
Yeah.
to
So one more
troubleshooting.
thing to cover. Let me go back to my share screen to choose that. To choose the configurable. How do we choose that option? I think I'm sharing with the wrong directory. I think I'm share the wrong window. Where's my window? Yeah, here. In this window, so I need to exit this one and start anew. So the way I showed in File, go to Hub Control Panel, and let's stop this one. And then I'll start configure our job. Stop. So slow. Okay, stop. Now we choose this configure our job, right? So during the bootcamp, so what we want to do is to go here and choose TRN004. And then GPU is here by default, is good. Here, Jupyter choose Jupyter shared. Change 28 to 32, change 4 to 1, and change. So this is on my slide, right? During the reservation, you click that, you'll find that reservation. That's actually showing here, but you cannot start now because the reservation doesn't start until tomorrow, 9 a.m. But that's what you choose for tomorrow. These are the options. And then you click start and you get on a GPU node almost immediately, quicker than today because there's a reservation. So that's my thing, last thing to share. Okay. All right. That's for general, but anyone has any individual questions, any question related to using Perlmutter, using logging, doing GUI, you can stay and I'll be helping you. Thank you very much for joining today.
Perfect. Thank you, Helen. So for everyone, if you're able to access the cluster and you're able to access the material, please feel free to drop off for the day. And now we will begin troubleshooting for anyone still having issues, and hopefully we can get things resolved. But again, if you're able to access everything, that will be all for today. So please feel free to drop off and we will see you tomorrow
See you
for
tomorrow.
start of the event.